Greetings and welcome to Flavourful Eats. Today we have a trio, mother, grandmother and grandchild. Sweet and savoury festive foods. Veena Garg, who is the grandmother, is a homemaker and she loves to cook traditional Indian foods for her family. She's always coming up with new recipes and trying more healthier versions these days. Deepika Prakash, who's the daughter, is an entrepreneur. She created a social media website, patternreview.com, for people who love to sew 15 years ago. Today, her website is home to almost 500,000 users from around the world. Outside of work, she enjoys experimenting in the kitchen with a 6-year-old, Diya. Diya Prakash loves to create. In her first year at school, she went on stage several times to read a story which she had written against an author. These days, she looks forward to coming home to her grandmother's delicious cooking. Grandma actually is in Delhi.
Grandma lives in Delhi, yeah.
And she's visiting. So we're making her recipe for Samosa and Phirni. So with that, we'll leave her to tell us the ingredients she's using. She's going to talk in Hindi and Deepika is going to help us translate.
Yeah. We're going to try to do our best.
So this is the ingredients we're using today to make the dough.
And I think everybody knows, like a lot of people know what samosa is. It's basically like an Indian pastry filled with potatoes and peas and spinach or
whatever ingredients you want to put in, it's basically
whatever you want to put in, but it's all you need to know. It's delicious.
Okay, I can Diya wants to talk about the ingredients, I guess.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us what are we going to make?
Samosas, and this is the ingredients.
Okay.
This is water.
So pani, right?
Yeah.
Pani.
Yeah. And don't yeah.
This is salt, namak.
Very good. This is suji, semolina flour.
And this is oil.
Oil.
And this is
all-purpose flour.
This is all-purpose flour, and this is ajwain or celery seed. And if you can't find it in,
and Mom can say it in Hindi.
Mom can say it.
Okay.
As
Mom,
she's putting it in the pot.
मेरा नाम वीना है और मुझे कुकिंग का बहुत शौक है. आई लव कुकिंग वेरी मच. आज मैं अपनी डॉटर एंड ग्रैंड डॉटर के साथ थोड़ा कुकिंग कर रही हूँ. तो मुझे इस समय मैं आपके सामने समोसा बना रही हूँ. 10 to 12 समोसास बनाने के लिए
For making 10 to 12, this recipe makes 10 to 12 samosas.
ये मैदा है.
This is all-purpose flour. 3/4 of a cup.
And 1/4 cup सूजी.
1/4 cup suji or semolina flour.
So the reason I think we use semolina here,
and
we make
little bit of ajwain.
We make the dough crisp.
It makes it a little bit crispy. Otherwise, it's people who make pie, they know that you have to have a balance
3
of crisp and
tablespoon oil.
So any vegetable oil.
So we mix it properly. First, distribute all the ingredients in there. And this is where Diya loves to get her hand dirty, huh? Do you want to do it?
So then you put water to just make
slowly.
A slightly.
Yes,
थोड़ा पानी डाल के.
Little water at a time.
डो तैयार करते हैं.
That's it.
Because you have to make a stiff dough, so that also will make a more.
Can I mix?
Okay.
This is what's going to happen in your kitchen. Be prepared. But this is the only way to learn to get your children to interested in cooking, so they know how to feed themselves as adults.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, if we're going to leave them sitting down, then they're not going to be able to help them feed themselves.
And they shouldn't be afraid to get their hands dirty, and that's what Ms. Diya loves to make a mess in the kitchen, and we clean it up together.
So the good thing here, you getting
इसको रेस्ट करने के लिए थोड़ी सी देर के लिए इसको ढक करके रख देते हैं.
So Mom says that we need to let the dough rest for 15 or so minutes. And Diya, you want to test to see if the dough is nice and stiff? It's all mixed in properly? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Perfect.
Oh, I think we forgot to put namak. We forgot to put salt in it.
Yeah, you can put
but
the salt now.
We can put the salt now. Yeah.
½ teaspoon. A
little bit more.
Again, salt to taste.
Salt to taste.
इसको हम थोड़ी देर के लिए रेस्ट के लिए रख देते हैं.
Can you pinch
तब
it?
तक हम अपने समोसे की फिलिंग तैयार करते हैं.
Okay. So Mom just said that this dough should be a little bit stiff, and it needs to rest. So we're going to cover it with plastic wrap and then just kind of let it do its thing.
So Mrs. Veena is going to be making us the filling that goes into that nice pastry that we had going before. So with that, we're going to heat a pan.
हीटे पैन, उसकी समोसे की फिलिंग के लिए सबसे पहले मैं आलू लेते हैं, आलू को मैश किया हुआ है, बॉईल करने के बाद इसको मैश करते हैं, ग्रेट नहीं करते, मैश समोसे ज़्यादा अच्छे बनते हैं.
So we're going to take two
large
boiled, two medium potatoes peeled, and then mashed. So she
for
said
10
that
to 12 samosas, two large
Potatoes. American potatoes.
मैश किए हुए.
yeah.
Yes.
Just basically, I think this is 2 cups of potatoes.
2 cups of potato.
Yeah. So we just take that.
1 cup of potato, half cup of frozen mutton.
So the ratio is 1:2 potato to peas.
Yes.
Correct,
Yeah, yeah.
correct. Or I mean, you can obviously alter it to your taste. And so we have the potatoes, we have the peas, and then we're gonna do lots of things, lots of like nice little spices. Which
One
will,
important thing I was going to ask
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
I heard her say don't grate, just smash.
Yes.
So why
I was
do
getting
not
to
grate?
that because you don't want it to be like mashed potatoes.
Yes.
You know, as tasty as they are, but they're not gonna taste very good in samosa. So you want a little bit of texture. So you take a potato masher and just kind of like make it a little bit chunkier.
Yes.
And the peas obviously help with the texture
Yes.
as well. So
उसके लिए
So oil.
we need oil,
जीरा,
and this is cumin seed,
गरम मसाला,
garam masala.
धनिया पाउडर,
This is coriander powder. This is
मिर्च,
red chili powder.
गरम मसाला, and
Amchur.
So mango. This is
Amchur.
What is amchur?
अमचूर,
Amchur mango
Which is
powder
green mango powder.
and salt.
salt.
So mango powder is something which most people are not familiar with, and it's basically dried. They take dried mango pieces and they just like grind it up into a powder. So it gives a little bit of tart and sweet. But if you don't have mango powder, you can always use lemon juice. That works.
Or you
And
can leave it out altogether. If you don't like something tangy,
If
you
you
can
don't-
leave it altogether. So
exactly,
it's
yeah.
optional.
Yeah, it's-
almost
yeah.
every spice is optional.
absolutely, and
So
basically you
अब
just need
हमारा
the.
पैन ये गरम हो गया है, इसमें हम 2 टेबलस्पून ऑयल डालते हैं.
So she's putting 2 tablespoon oil.
And you also have cilantro and green chilies. Green chilies, the greens are always very important in.
Yes, absolutely. We totally forgot about that. But so obviously we're not going to touch the.
You
I mean,
don't
we're not
touch
gonna
the
touch green
chilies.
with our fingers. But yeah, so it's always nice to kind of flavor it with the fresh
not touching
herbs
the green
because all of these spices are
So you can
dried.
start putting your ingredients into the oil. So we can
Yeah,
talk while we're
jira.
going. So this is cumin seeds.
Yeah, you gotta put the whole thing.
So Dia is learning very well from her grandmother because normally you put 1 or 2. I guess it's ready now. You put 1 or 2 to test whether the oil is hot.
You can put the whole
So
thing.
you can put the whole thing in. There we go.
There we go.
And then you need to stir it, right? You need to stir it.
Can I?
Yes, you are. So the next ingredient.
जीरा भुनने के बाद इसमें
You can
Only
do it,
jeera.
Nani.
मैश आलू
You
डालो.
do it. You do it.
You just do it.
Good
मटर,
job, Dia.
मटर,
Peas.
And mom, you don't need to boil the peas, do you? Or you
No,
can
this
just
is
take it-
frozen
yeah.
peas.
You just
So frozen peas directly from the freezer, but if you got fresh peas from your garden, I think you steam it a little bit.
Oh, that would be
Salt.
fresh peas would be nice too.
गैस को थोड़ा स्लो करते हैं.
So you bring it down to medium. So you can see
Salt,
Dia
we
is
use
meaning
sea
business.
salt, but obviously you can use any salt.
Yeah, this is pink Himalayan salt, which is
Can
very
I
good
do?
too.
Can I do?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
धनिया पाउडर,
So coriander powder, pure red chili powder. Be careful, don't use your
And so
fingers.
we
you can burn your
obviously you
fingers
have to alter the spice level
as per your taste.
as per your taste. You can completely
गरम
leave the
मसाला,
So garam masala, the direct translation is heat, spice with heat. So it's got all the heating things like
amchur powder.
cloves
it's got cloves
and,
cinnamon,
and,
black
um,
pepper,
and ilachi, cardamom.
cardamom. Yeah, it's got a lot. It's,
So
I
does
think there are
mom
about
does
11.
mom make her own?
Mom makes sometimes her own, and
Right.
she brings it for me from India. And
Can I help you?
It's okay. It's okay.
so when she
I know how to
visits,
do it.
I like
This is a
one
little
day,
bit
this is,
dangerous. Far
I'll
away
share
from
this
you, that's
something
what-
with you. My mom was visiting, and I like since she went back, and so she, a few months later, I was like, "Mom, I'm out of garam masala. Next time when you come, can you get me some?" So mom's like,
मीडियम
"But I
लो पर इसको फिलिंग को अच्छी तरह से
So you're
भून
cooking
लेते
it
हैं.
over medium
Yes.
heat.
Yeah, cooking it.
Yes.
So she's like, but I got you so much. I said, I can't find it. Because when my mom comes, she is pretty much...
She's
she takes
packing
over.
it.
So she's like, why don't you open that cupboard and in that jar you'll find it. And sure enough, I'm like, okay, I have garam masala now.
When
And
you,
हरा धनिया mix
if you
करते
are
हैं.
not used to touching green chilies, please don't do what she just did with her bare fingers,
Mom's used to it.
because it's like you're putting your finger on a hot fire. If you're not used to touching something hot, you burn.
You did a very good job
And
mixing
yes,
the whole
very,
thing.
very
I'm
good.
really impressed, honey.
And this is not done.
This is done. It's
This
because
is done.
it's basically because the potato's already cooled, so we're just
Heating everything through and
heating
bringing the
everything and mixing all the
flavors.
spices.
Bringing the flavors out.
फिलिंग को हमको ठंडा करके समोसे में भरना है, इसलिए हमको इसको डिश आउट कर लेते
Oh, looks so good. I just want to eat the filling by itself.
Yes.
हैं. अगर समोसे में गरम फिलिंग रहेगी तो समोसा फटने का डर रहता है.
So this
इसलिए
is
filling
a
को-
this is a good tip. Mom just said that if you try to put the hot filling in the
Mom, you
samosa,
can taste test.
I know my mouth is watering.
Can I
If you
taste
put the
test?
if you put the hot filling in the samosa, which we'll show you how to make, it can burst. When you go to fry it, it'll burst. So it's very, this step is very important that you
So hot.
let it cool
Can I try
before
that?
we
So
can
then you have
move
to
on
get
to
it
the
cool.
next step. First to taste.
She's doing it so hot. Is that good? It's yummy?
So we go back to the dough. It's been resting for what, 10-15 minutes. And Mom's like kneading it a little bit more. And then we're gonna move on to the next step. So for this, I forgot to mention earlier that you do need a rolling pin. And if you have a granite countertop or anything like a rolling stone at home, you can use that or just do it on a clean countertop because we're gonna be rolling it out. And you know, any rolling pin of any kind, you can even use a bottle. Hamsha had a great idea that you have a round
flat
bottle, you can just
bottle.
flat bottle.
चलो इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दूँगा.
So we're gonna divide it into how many? 6?
4.
5 to 6
Five.
साइज. अगर समोसे का साइज बड़ा रखना है
Will depend on the size you want. You can, you may be able to make 24 if you make it really, really tiny.
Yeah,
one.
really like, you know, really appetizer kind. So
Yes.
you can make
Can
it
I
super
roll?
tiny,
Can
but-
I roll? Can I
Yeah,
roll?
yeah.
I'll
Dear
roll
honey,
this
why
one.
don't we let Nani roll and then you can be in charge of cutting. How's that?
I want to roll this one.
Okay, you can roll that one. Dinner then like, yeah, the old cut it in half. Down the middle. Very
Yeah.
good, very good. That's it. So
Lady
now
bun.
we're gonna make,
अब इसका
this is
हाफ
like
पोर्शन
half
लेकर
moon.
के
Can I?
Does she need some water to stick on?
So I'm gonna do this one
इस
and I'm gonna practice.
इस पर थोड़ा सा वाटर लगाते हैं.
I'm gonna-
और इसको
So it goes very slowly with
करके-
mom's hand.
आइस
So you
क्रीम
make it
कोन
like
की
a
तरह
cone.
तैयार हो गया.
So I'm gonna put mine as a triangle like this, and then we roll it, and we kind of seal it with water. Okay, and then we're gonna hold it like this. Yeah, because if we put too much filling, it's gonna burst. So
Collapse. Or
collapse.
Collapse my magic word.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Me neither. I'm hungrier than you, Mama.
इसको जॉइन अच्छी तरह करना है. अगर जॉइन नहीं करेंगे तो इसकी फिलिंग बाहर आ जाएगी. So join.
For frying these samosas, we will need oil. And I think this much oil should be enough, Mom. We don't need this oil, so we can just use it. And we're gonna heat it. So depending on what, if you're using a wok or a cast iron, a Dutch oven or something, we just have to make sure that you have enough oil.
I think that's
I
enough.
think that's
Just-
enough.
yes.
Yeah, I think that's enough. And then heat it so all the samosas can fry in there. And then I'm gonna turn this on. Okay, I think I might need your help in turning this on. Okay. So Mom's just making the samosa and just put a little dough in the oil just to check.
It's up. It's up.
It's up, it's up. That means the oil is ready. So as I was putting the samosas, I was just like putting them all over the place, and Mom said that they should really be put like this so they maintain their shape. And
Like this mean the seam is where?
seam is at the bottom. So
And there's another middle seam that's
I
on
hope the
top. That
camera is
doesn't-
picking this up. Basically, it's just kind of like you have them sitting up, you know.
Okay, and then now she's making the last one.
She's making the last one, and it is time to fry.
ऑयल हमारा
turn, my
हीट हो
turn.
गया है. अब इसमें 1 by 1
You put a small piece of dough to see that the oil was hot, right?
And did it.
And you normally would put the oil heat with the thermometer for 350.
I do it for 350 degrees.
So moderate
and that's
oven.
pretty much the
Moderate.
standard frying temperature.
So it's moderate
Bas mami
oil.
So another thing to note is that when you're frying anything, not just the samosas, you don't want to overcrowd the pan, and you don't want to put all of them at the same time. So we're going to do it in a couple batches.
हीट इज मीडियम लो पर समोसे बनाने हैं. अगर हम इसके हीट को हाई करेंगे तो समोसा अंदर से कच्चा रह जाएगा.
It will bubble, right? And you make it
It'll
high.
bubble, and the dough, because even though the potatoes are cooked, the dough isn't. So we want to make sure that it's cooked inside out as well. So Mom just said that the heat should be medium low. It shouldn't be. It should be kind of. So that's to facilitate its, getting cooked from inside.
Right. So we leave this to fry a little bit.
Yeah. So we make samosas during festive season or whenever it's rainy outside?
Yes. So this is why I thought this is perfect for the winter.
Yeah.
And yes.
And then we all go to the gym.
We
Just
talk
kidding.
about healthier dishes.
Yeah.
Yes, we make healthy dishes, but we do. This is deep fried, so obviously it's not healthy. But everything else about it is healthy.
It is, yeah.
So I'm wondering if you, like, instead of deep frying it, if you air fry. I don't know if you saw the air fryers right now.
So back in India, my mom does have an air fryer, and she tells
थोड़ा सा
me
तेज करने के लिए.
she tells me that she has cooked other dishes, like she makes bread rolls and stuff. They cook well in that, but somehow the samosa, because it needs to be cooked from the inside, that doesn't cook that well in the air fry. But you can bake them.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe you can rub some oil over
Yeah.
and put it in the oven.
Absolutely.
So again, I think moderate oven or 400 degrees.
I would cook it for 400. I would
400.
cook it at 400, and then the honey
You
still
could
needs
leave it
to
in.
cook.
It's not cooked yet.
I'd cook it. I'd brush it with a little bit of oil, and
You don't have to keep mixing it like this.
Right.
Dia is just wanting to be very helpful.
yeah.
And,
And I'm just amazed, Dia, how well you're doing. Next time you'll be cooking for me.
yes, she will be making. While you're working, she'll fry you the samosas.
But yeah, I mean, yes, it is deep fried, and I know that all of us are trying to eat healthier, but I still feel that deep fried at home is still better than deep
Yes.
fried at outside,
Yes.
because at least your oil doesn't have any trans fats, and
Yes.
you're using healthier ingredients.
So you're supposed to lift it up and pick it down like that, the way she's doing it?
She's, I think it's just to move it
To get
around
more
a little
air.
bit,
going on.
but yeah, honey, that's it. You know what? It's gonna break the samosas if you do
Yes.
that. So it's something which we let cook.
So what Nani is trying to say that it's slightly brown. That's why she's turning it once. She's not lifting it up.
And see how gently she's doing?
Can I do it too?
Yeah, you can do it. But let Nani do this batch. Why don't you do the next batch?
Remember that children must always be supervised in front of hot oil or anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Deepika, I'm thinking you made this one here.
Yeah,
It's
that's why.
starting to
Yeah.
open a little bit.
yeah, I know. I'm still learning. Yeah, mom's samosas will not, open up in the oil. Mine will.
But it's still very good. I mean, the thing is,
very
it's
good.
not.
Yeah.
Yes. So the samosas are ready. It has to be slightly light brown, and we can tell which one was done by mom and which one was done by daughter. But the oil is still looking good. So and the taste is still delicious.
Huh.
So now we're putting the next round.
Yeah, very gently. You just slide it, like just watch Nani. Yeah.
Yes, that's what you got to be careful about. So you got to take
Maybe-
it
maybe we-
almost inside and put it. See?
Yeah. Maybe
I
we don't
just
do this
want
part.
to get eating.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's very hot.
She wants to get eating.
Oh, see?
We're gonna get our serving dishes ready so we can all enjoy the yummy samosas.
Even if they're spicy.
Even if they're spicy.
And after this, we're going to make rice pudding.
So the next dish is a Phirni, which is a very easier rice pudding. So for ease of thing, we're calling it rice pudding. So here you're starting to boil 2 cups of milk,
And
correct?
then talk about the other things we need.
इसके लिए हमको 1/4 कप चावल,
So one,
हमको 1 घंटे पहले भिगोना होता है.
so 1 cup of rice. I mean, sorry, quarter cup of rice. She
We can
said.
just keep it there.
और
You don't lift anything up.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we could any long grain white rice will work here. We took basmati because we had that at home, and we're going to let it sit in water. We're going to rinse and soak it in water for an hour, and then we grind it into a coarse paste. And you can use your coffee grinder, Vitamix, or any high-speed grinder you have, but you leave it a little bit coarse, and that's what we've done here with a little bit of water.
Right.
And then we have sugar. We
That's cane sugar.
This cane sugar, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and this recipe should serve 4. I think,
people.
yeah. And then if you have saffron, you know, you take just a little bit
Pinch of
saffron and put in a little bit cold
Hot milk or cold?
cold milk.
Okay.
And then this is we put cardamom seeds powder in Indian desserts because it just gives a really nice aroma. But this rice pudding is really cool because you can doctor it up anytime, any way you want. You can use cinnamon, you can use...
Yes, I was going to say, I normally would use cinnamon too.
Cinnamon is really good,
and
cinnamon and
nutmeg
nutmeg.
also, yes.
Yeah.
So the milk is boiling now, so the next step is, so we're adding the ground... Slowly adding the ground rice into the milk. Because the reason
I
you
think
do
a
it...
whisk would have been nice.
The reason you do it slowly is because you don't want it to get lumpy.
Can I mix?
I think, let me do it. Hang on, dear, hang on. I think this step is... okay, so Mom, you can use the whisk because it'll prevent the lumps from forming.
And of course, her kitchen is totally different. I don't think she'd be using a spatula in her kitchen.
Can I use a whisk?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is...
rinse a little bit of water there.
Okay. Dear, let Nani do this step, honey, please.
Please.
No, you're so good.
See, in order for it to get now, she's taking some water from there. I think those who work very much in the kitchen in Indian food would prefer a spoon over a whisk. I know a whisk is very good to make.
इसको लगातार चलाते रहना.
Yeah, that's what I do with the sand, I read.
So when you grind the rice, and the reason this is almost like an easier version of rice pudding is that because you grind the rice, so the starches will help thicken up the milk rather quickly.
And you also soak the rice for 1 hour, so
And
that
you
would
soak,
also...
yeah, that helps as well. And then while you're doing this step, you could gather your other ingredients. Like we use slivered almonds for garnishing it. We have some raisins in there. You can put cranberries for fall. That'd be great. And pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice would be awesome too.
Well, if you're doing it for Christmas, cranberries will look good too.
Yeah,
red.
I know.
Yes.
I know. This is. I feel like every region has their own version of rice pudding because it's just so versatile.
And I was going to say, Flavourful Eat is all about getting people to cook their family favorites as they know it and that they make their memories through the line.
I'll tell you this, that growing up, I never cooked in the kitchen because like we grew up in a big family. We weren't allowed in the kitchen, but obviously we got to eat everything. And now I find myself cooking like my mom, even though we didn't really cook together growing up, but I feel like food has memory. And it's just, I call her up, it's like, Mom, I'm making food just like you.
Yes, you definitely do things from generations over.
Yeah.
And coming to the US, you'll be altering the ingredients here and there to suit whatever you can find in your local market.
Absolutely.
Right now, we're a little bit more fortunate, but I believe 40 years ago, you could barely find an Indian ingredient around.
Yeah.
So it was amazing how those mothers made.
And a lot of people are familiar with it, like cardamom. I no longer have to explain to my friends who are not familiar with Indian cooking that like people know what cardamom is.
Spice is now mainstream.
Yes, yes.
Think of the turmeric.
Yeah.
We just cook with it and don't even think twice about it. But now, when you look at people doing more and more research on it,
it's so healthy. It's so good for you. It's so good for you. And like you sent me that turmeric latte the other day. I said I'm definitely going to try it. It looks delicious and it's definitely good for you.
Well, growing up, that's what we had almost every winter. If we came down with a little bit of a cold, that's what my mother made for us. We called it ginger milk because we put ginger and turmeric.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Mom,
Yeah, you have a question for me?
you said that every country can have their own version. I like that because, like, it's not fighting over every country to make this food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but every country has their own version. They may have their own version. Like I remember traveling. Where did I go? We went to France. We went to Paris. We had a version of rice pudding there. We went to.
They would use eggs in this.
They use, yes, they definitely use eggs. It's more rich.
Like a custard.
Yeah, but even in India, there's so many different regions, and every region has their own way of cooking rice pudding.
Yes.
I love rice pudding, and I think it's a very,
Some raisin?
very quick recipe to make.
Raisins and almonds. You got both raisins and almonds.
So we'll save some to garnish on
Yeah.
top, and then we like to put in the rice pudding as well.
So in North India, it's a little bit cold some parts of the time, right?
Yes.
So these all nourishing, heating. Cardamom gives up a little bit of heat also.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I think like in Indian cooking,
I'll hold it.
most of the spices are there for a reason.
Yes. Careful even when you're holding pots like the way I'm doing, it's hot.
Yeah, you have to always get a grown-up to do this part.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of yumminess, isn't
I
it?
think you can eat the whole bowl by yourself, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Thanks from our guest all the way from Delhi. So
Thank you, Mom. And thank you, Diya. And
So
thank you, Hamsha, for having us.
I'd like Mom to say if she has
वेलकम
anything.
टू अमेरिका। मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दी गई यहाँ आने के लिए। आई एम वेरी हैप्पी। मेरे अंदर इतना कॉन्फिडेंस आया कि मैं ये जो मैं कुक करती हूँ, जो मेरी हॉबी है, उसको मैं यहाँ सबके सामने बना सकी। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। आई लाइक दिस शो एंड आई लाइक कुकिंग वेरी मच।
Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, Mom,
आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू हर्षा जी,
Hamsha.
हर्षा जी। उन्होंने मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दी। आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू यू।
And your channel is great, Flavourful Eats. And thank you so much to ActonTV and all our nice guys behind the scenes who've been working non-stop, getting everything in.
So you wanted to say something?
And Miss Dia has a question.
Yes.
so Mom, I know everyone can't wait to eat.
Oh yes.
Wow, we'll
That's a
wait
question.
till I'm just about done.
Yeah. And we like to serve it with tamarind chutney and
It's too hot.
is it too hot?
Yes, because we just made it. So be careful when you're tasting. So we take very little. We get very little. It gets a little cool on this. Slowly. There we go. And now you tell Nani what you think about it.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Just pretty good. So with that, from Flavourful Eats, till we meet again, as you always know, it's available always on actontv.org. And our good friend here has www.review.com.
Patternreview.com.
Patternreview.com.
If you so, you should check out the website.
The recipes and any comments, please write to flavorfuleats@gmail.com. Always available on your YouTube channel. From Hamsha Naidu, your host, Diya, Deepika, and Veena. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.